In this video, we're going to show you how to do the measuring and marking for mounting your bed hardware. At least we're going to show you how to do half of it. For each of the corners of your bed, there are two pieces. There is a post piece. I call it a post piece because it has these two metal posts on it. And there will also be an L bracket piece like this. They fit together just like that. Now, one thing you'll notice about this piece is that it doesn't line up perfectly. The L bracket piece is a little bit longer than the post piece. The difference is about 3/32 of an inch. That's going to come in when we figure the mathematics for measuring on the posts. So for this video, it's not going to make a difference, but you should be aware of that. In this video, we're simply going to show you how to measure and mark for the post pieces. So what you're going to need to do that is you will need your 4 post pieces. You will need a pencil to do your marking. You'll need your 2 side rail pieces that the posts will be attached to. You will also want a block of wood and then some sort of a measuring tool. You can either use a tape measure or a combination square. Either one is fine. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to just I'm going to set this in place so you get a rough idea of where these post pieces are going to be mounted. They're going to go right on the very edge, and it's important to remember that the posts, those 2 metal posts, are going to go towards that outside edge of the piece. If you put it like this, then your mounting hardware is not going to mount correctly and you won't be able to put your bed together. So you will want to make sure that you put those posts always to the outside edge. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to measure so that they all are consistently at the same height. We're going to measure 1 inch up from the bottom of the piece. The bottom is the side that has that lip attached to it, and we're always going to measure up from the bottom so that we get consistent measurements across all of our pieces. So you can either use your tape measure and just hook it onto the bottom and mark it at 1 inch, or you can use your combination square. If you use your combination square, which will have the advantage of giving you a nice square line that you can get to, you will just simply set your combination square so that it is started at a hash mark for one of the inches. It can be any inch, doesn't make any difference. And then what you'll do is you'll put that square up against the bottom of the rail, and then you will make a mark at 1 inch from the bottom. And you can make a nice thick mark because you're going to be using that as a reference point. Okay? So, once you've got your mark on the piece of wood, then what you're going to want to do is keep your pencil close at hand. You'll take your block and you'll put it up against the edge of that piece of wood. Then, what you'll do is you'll slide your post piece so that it makes contact with that block of wood, and then you'll slide it down until you bisect that pencil mark, which means that you're going to cover up about half of that pencil mark with the piece of metal, and half of it is still going to be visible to your eye. So once you've got your post piece in place, bisecting your measurement mark, your 1 inch mark, you can take away your block of wood, grab your pencil, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, while holding it in place, fill in the 4 holes that have bevels to them. Those 4 holes that have bevels are the ones that you're going to be putting screws in. There is also a 5th hole, kind of right in the middle there, that doesn't have a bevel to it. You're not going to want to do anything with that piece because that piece is for a totally separate function, and we're not going to be using it. So you don't need to worry about that at all. Now, if you do happen to kind of bump it a little bit while you're darkening in those holes, just once again, put your block into place, make sure you're bisecting your line, and then you can make sure you're all lined up. And once you're done, you can take that post piece out of its position. You'll see that there are 4 holes all marked there. Once you've done that, you can leave that post piece with the hole you just marked, or with the section you just marked, because that post piece is going to go there. You'll take a separate post piece, a second post piece, you'll go to the other end of the board, and you'll repeat the process of measuring up 1 inch, putting your block in place, putting it in place, bisecting the measurement, marking the holes, and repeat that for all of the ends of your side rails. And you'll have all of your measurements made for the post pieces.